Dr. Wood, author of the book Miracles in Minutes. And some people may be asking, who the hell am I? And where I come up with all these cockamamie ideas. So basically I would say fortunate or blessed to have a big picture mind. I kind of think a little bit, not bragging, but just metaphorically like Bruce Lee. I liked his philosophy of use what's useful and discard what isn't. So in looking to solve health issues, if you don't have your personal health, you got nothing. This is a life vehicle that you live in. It's how you're going to be in relationships. It's how you're going to do your job. It's how you're going to be with your kids. This is everything. You don't have your health, you have nothing. So then you go, what the hell is health? Well, it's not just, a bone or a finger or muscle or joint, ligament, and tendon, which is the typical Western mindset. It's dissectionist. It's not. It's a holistic thing. And I don't like using the term because it's been so bastardized. Holistic. Your body, your mind, and your essence or spiritual energy. All three work together at one time. There is no part here, part there, and part there. To look at it from that perspective, you can never get back to one. You cannot get back to health. You cannot become whole. Okay? So you have a brain stem, okay, or your autonomic nervous system. Can you breathe? Can you move? Because if you can't breathe, you're dead. Something's controlling your digestion, your heart rate, your breathing. And then you have two nervous systems, sympathetic and parasympathetic. Up, yeah, kind of like more masculine energy, like high energy. And there's nothing wrong with that. And then there's parasympathetic. Rest and digest. It's almost like the man-woman matrix. When the two come together, it makes a beautiful union of not too much to one side, not too much to the other, but meet in the middle of balance between masculine energy, feminine energy, or not too up and not too down, somewhere this balance in the middle. So health issues, physical health or mental health or financial health or relational health, actually, if you look to the CNS, the autonomic nervous system, you can start to figure it out. Now, you don't have to be a PhD, man. I'm trying to make this shit easy for you guys. So one of the theories I read was something called polyvagal theory by Dr. Stephen Porges. If you look, it says the neurophysiological foundations of emotion, attachment, communication, self-regulation. In other words, how do you get your shit under control? And so it talks about how we formed our emotions, how we formed our ideas, and that way of thinking then causes feelings. Feelings then causes actions. Way you think changes your neuroendocrine system. If you have thoughts that scare you, you're going to release adrenaline. Heart rate goes up. If it stays that way, heart disease. Or you could feed cellular processes that could feed cancer cells and all this other stuff. This simple stuff could probably eradicate 70 to 80% of the health issues we suffer from. Relational issues, performance issues. My kid's not performing well at school. You don't have control of your nervous system, dude. You don't have control of your autonomic nervous system. You're out of control. And it's dysregulated, dysfunctional, and then you run into a hormone profile that feeds more stress. You're getting higher states of adrenaline. You're going to secrete norepinephrine or noradrenaline. It's going to go into your abdominal wall. You're not going to digest your food. I got gastroesophageal reflux disease, man. You know what it is? You're stressed out, dude. I can't think clearly. I got attention deficit disorder. You can't think clearly, dude. The more you think these stressful thoughts, the more the system runs the stress hormones, and you just run down the loop. And you just keep running down the path like a train down the tracks. Boom! I'm going to throw a wedge and stop the train. Breathe. And I shot a video on how to quickly get out of stress by doing some different way of thinking and change your perspective. Let's cover another thing. Stress-free for good. This is from the Stanford University's cardiac team. This is no bullshit, dude. They found that deep breathing was just as effective as 2 blood pressure pills. 2. What are we talking about? Talking about polyvagal theory, because as you breathe deeply, and the guys from HeartMath found out you stimulate the vagus nerve, and it balances out the sympathetic parasympathetic. You reach equanimity. You can gain control of your system. You gain control of your autonomic nervous system. You can get control of your thoughts. Now, don't go to thoughts yet, okay? What you go to is you got to get to peace first. You got to get to creating space for yourself where you can actually get your shit together. If your mind's running, blah, 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 like it's too cloudy up in there, it's like trying to, like you dropped your wedding ring in a pool of water and you start, swirling your feet about trying to get it, and you muddy the water and you can't see anything. When you get still in your head through breathing, it works. Stress-free for good. And he also talks about, Dr. Fred Lushkin, he also talks about forgiveness. When we don't forgive others, you hold that inside and you actually get sick. It ruins your brain. It does. It could cause dementia. It could cause Alzheimer's disease. You want to hold a grudge? You can cause heart disease. It could cause stomach cancer. That's right. This shit's for real. They've proven this stuff in freaking laboratories. The whole biblical message is do unto others as they do unto you. Love yourself as you love your neighbor. And love people and appreciate them. Appreciate yourself. It's all the same thing. It's the same thing. Whether you want to call it Stress-Free for Good by Lushkin, whether you want to call it Polyvagal Theory by Stephen Porges, whether you want to call it Western physiology, Western medicine, or Eastern medicine, it's all the same stuff. So just relax, man. Or Psycho-Cybernetics by hell, I forgot his name off the top of my head. How you think determines everything, but you can't get your thinking right until you get your head under control, and you do that through breathing. I also do some visual drills too, because the vagus nerve is also connected to your eyes. You have gaze reflex. The Bible says you have eyes to see but don't see, and you have ears to hear but don't hear. See, if you're in your head thinking, you're not seeing the world around you. Your eyes have frames, like a camera. So many frames per second come in there. But if you're thinking, you get beta waves in your brain, you get nervous, and then you stimulate the fight or flight responses of your hormone system, and you become more myopic. Your world starts closing in, closing in, closing in. And then you want to escape through, drinking, alcohol, drugs, something, anxiety pills, depression pills, narcotics, something, to try to ameliorate this neuroendocrine process. All you have to do is go back to breathing. Go back to seeing. Go out in nature. See the world around you. Give thanks and forgive. Some simple freaking concepts. But to apply them, no one's ever taught us how to apply them. How do I do this, Dr. Wood? How do I get my thinking under control? Watkins, in his book called Coherence, talks about how do you change your life, your results. This is what you see, dude. You can't change freaking behaviors. You have to go to the physiology. You have to go to breathing, and then you're going to come up, and then you're going to think about your thinking. That's called perception. How do you think about the world is determined how you interpret the world in the meaning and stories you assign the world. Is this good or is this bad? It's up to the eye of the beholder. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Some people see everything as wrong. Some people see everything as ugly. Some people make everything mean. It's offensive to me. You're offending me. You're hurting my feelings. No, they're not. You don't have control of your head space. Your perceptions of reality, you make everything mean something negative about you. That's the truth. So you start writing your thinking down. Don't try to filter it and make it look pretty. If you think, I am an asshole, you write, I am an asshole. I am no good. I'm not pretty. I'm not good enough. I wish my arms looked better. I don't like my lips. I don't like my eyes. I don't, just write it down. So that's the thinking. Now you can look at how you think. I can't believe I think that way about myself. No wonder you're neurotic. You spend all day long criticizing yourself. Don't judge. Don't judge. Don't make it right or wrong. Just, wow, that's interesting. That's how I think. When you remove the judgment, You remove guilt, shame, and all the other things that go with it. Even the good. Don't even judge it as good. Well, aren't we supposed to judge, Dr. Wood? Well, you're going to get into a conundrum in your head if you get into all the judgments. But if you just appreciate everything that is, life becomes very beautiful. So all this stuff, because if you look at where you spend all your money, you're spending it on to get to peace. If I can just get here, then I can finally relax. I'll be at peace. Guess what? You get there. Then what? Now you got to get somewhere else. See, you're never going to get there with the way of thinking that you have. Your peace, joy, and happiness is always somewhere in the future. It's always based upon some condition that needs to be met first before you allow yourself to have it. See, it's always inside. If you get to the beach, you just allowed yourself to relax there. You gave yourself permission to enjoy yourself. We kind of learn that in childhood. If you don't do this, then you don't get the goods. So that way of thinking, classical conditioning, has caused human beings to put off their joy and happiness to some point in the future. If I get married, then I'll be happy. Well, I'm married. Now what? Well, if we have a kid, then I'll be happy. Now what? See, all the ifs. It's always pushing peace, love, joy, and happiness somewhere out in the future. And guess what happens? You never have it your whole life. And that's the sad thing. What am I saying? You go back to breathing. Start appreciating just being here. You'll cut off that negative way of thinking. You'll change your thinking about life. And once you get your physiology control, could change your thinking about life, your whole life changes, and you can live every day in heaven in peace, love, joy, and happiness. And it's all regulated through the vagus nerve, which balances out your nervous system between ups and downs. So you're not too up and you're not too down. These are highs, very high highs and low lows. A little high, a little low, a little low, and a little high. And stress-free for good. You get your blood pressure under control. You can reduce your risk of cancer. You can reduce your risk of back pain. You can heal back pain. You can heal shoulder pain. You can heal heart problems because you're just removing all the stress hormones in the system which tear you up. Dr. Wood, it's the theory of one of how to get it all together. This is just my stab at it. I think it's a great idea, and I've seen it work wonders for many of my patients. Have a great day.